It's your summer. What the bird is barbecuing.
G'day jabronis, it is TheVerd, back with you again. Welcome to our Week 8 Teambuild for the PMC. I know there's currently no face cam. I'm currently really sick, and so I don't want you to see my state, but I'm going to put a really nice picture of myself there instead. So, just look at that. I'll do the team builder instead. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. You'll appreciate it. It's fine. Last week was rough, but we move on. Shit happens. It's fine. Let's get into this next week because I really enjoyed being in this league. I enjoyed battling in this league, and we got a great opponent this week in Johan, coach of the ShinRyu Pikachus. He's having a pretty good season. That division that he's in is incredibly close, and so a win against me would be big for him. So I know he's going to be hungry for one, but we ain't going to let him do it, guys, because people will be breathing down our necks right now in my division. Although I am 6-1 and my nearest competitor right now is 5-2, that is still basically a bit too close for comfort. Even if I lose 6-0 and my rival, I think in my division V, wins 6-0, I'll still be ahead of him. But you know what? I want to consolidate my lead in this division heading into the divisional matches because, like I said at the end of my battle against JSpecs, 3 wins secures playoffs. 3 out of 5 secures playoffs. So let's just get that job done. It starts today. Well, technically not today because I won't have my team. But, you get what I mean. Alright, you get what I mean. So anyway, Johan's team is terrifying. He has literally no defense. And it's just balls to the wall offense. Kind of like Misty. Probably why they make such a perfect pair, those two. And it's a very terrifying pair because, like my prep for Misty, I'm terrified of my prep for Johan because his team is ridiculous. Straight up, my team does not have a lot of checks to Megazard X plus X-Cloud. Those two are definitely the 2 Pokemon that have the ability to absolutely destroy my team and the 2 things that I am the most terrified to face. I'm really hoping he doesn't bring X-Cloud. My team has nothing. The closest thing I have to an X-Cloud check is this, Beth Phoenix. I can take 2 Specs Boom Bursts, so that's nice. I can't really do much in return, so it's not really that much of a check, but at the same time, Boom Burst only has 8 PP, I believe, unless I'm dumb, which I probably am. I believe that has 16 PP, actually. I'm thinking of a different move. But, that being said, Roost has more PP, I believe, unless I'm also dumb in that regard. PP is 24, so yeah. Roost has more PP than Boom Burst, so I can potentially store him out of booms. And if that's the case, then my team matches up a lot better against X-Cloud. But the fact of the matter is I can come in, Roost up if need be. If he's not Specs, that's also terrifying though because Boom Burst plus Fire Blast, Roast Skarmory. So, first and foremost, if he brings X-Cloud, I'm in big trouble. I need to play around that thing exceptionally well with some great players, or else I'm going to lose to it, or it's going to break down my team to the point where other things can sweep, so I really got to watch out for that thing. I cannot allow Zard to set up, but I have a check to set up Zard, but I just really have to play carefully, regardless. So, Scarm has a few roles in this team. Primarily, like I said, is to come in against that X-Cloud. It also is a very nice Superior check. Serp can't really do much to this Skarmory. I can easily just wear it down. I drink up Leaf Storms, even a +2 Life Orb, Hidden Power Fire, does like 65%, so although you might think though that's not really eating it up. In return, my Brand Bird's doing at least 77%, so that means that I can pretty much deal with Serp quite nicely. Not really worried about the Glare because I have no speed investment. Really wanted Rocks though, because the sooner I get Rocks up, the more I can dent that Zard, which is obviously a big problem. He does have the spinner in Donphan and the potential defog in Aerodactyl, so I've got to watch out for that. But then again, my team actually matches up really nicely against Donphan, so I'm not too worried about that thing in general. Moving on, we have Tangrowth, need a Rocks. I don't necessarily need the Assault Vest. Reason I went with it, I guess, is because theoretically speaking, it does allow me to take a few hits from certain things. It's not really necessary, but I couldn't think of any other item that I was really comfortable giving because I wanted 4 attacking moves. I don't really need lefties in this matchup. main job of Tangrowth even is just to come in against like Donphan and Azumarill, you know, standard stuff and do standard things. I have a knockoff because I assume Gudra is going to be his Tangrowth switch in, so I want to be able to get rid of potential Assault Vest to make Cress's job a bit easier and to allow Clef to get even harder. It's nice. EQ is there because my Tangrowth has enough defense investment that an Adamant Flare Blitz from non-invested Charizard doesn't kill me, so I have the potential to get off good damage there. Giga Drain for obvious reasons, because you know I want to get my health back. And Sludge Bomb is chilling there because it's just a good last little coverage move for his team. It's my way of hitting Superior hard. This is my secondary Superior check, which is the other reason why I had the AB on here. I don't drink up the special hits as well as you think though, because I'm only getting a 35 boost, so I got a 106 special defense, but because of my monstrous HP stat, it all evens out pretty darn well. I hope you can't hear my dog bark in the background. You probably can because I'm not using my proper mic, but it is what it is. I'm just really sick now, guys, and I'm hoping I feel better before the battle. I've taken a lot of medication, but I wanted to get this team builder up now before I ran out of time to do it. Anyway, moving on. This is my Charizard check. It is John Cena, my Clefable. Basically, the premise of this was, alright, Charizard, if it sets up, pretty much decimates me, but with Unaware, in case some of you don't know, which is fine if you don't, Unaware means that a Pokemon like Clefable can ignore any stat changes from a Pokemon. So if Azumarill belly drums up on me, this can come in and deal with it. The big move here is going to be Thunder Wave. The one thing I looked at Johan's team and realized was his team doesn't handle status very well. I wanted to bring a Toxic on a few mons, but I decided against it. Initially, I was running a Will-O-Wisp Mega Absol, but I'll explain why that's not here later on. But I decided on Thunder Wave Clefable because I looked at the matchup and I thought to myself, you know what, like, this just works for my team. It's just very, very solid. It shuts down Zard, and that's the biggest thing. It shuts down Zard. Paralyzing that thing is crucial. It means that the majority of my team can outspeed and gets hits off, and just Zard becomes much less of a threat. And he has no real Cleric on his team, which is really, really nice as well. I'm running actually Carmine mono attacking. Reason I didn't really need the Carmine on there, I was tempted. I can't run, for those of you wondering, TheVerd, why aren't you running Soft Boiled? When you run Unaware, you can't actually run Soft Boiled. I was tempted instead of Carmine to have my last move be Wish, but since I have Roost on Skarmory, Regenerator on Tangrowth, and both Zygarde and Nidoqueen don't really need the recovery, I decided it wasn't really necessary. Plus, Carmine Clef actually has a very good matchup against Johan's team. Yes, there is a Lucario there, I'm fully aware, but Lucario aside, this thing can actually punch a lot of holes in his team. It will be my dedicated lead in this matchup because I do not want to allow that Charizard to get a free setup turn. That is no bueno for me. Also, he has a Dugtrio on his team, and that thing can be annoying, potentially trapping my lead Nidoqueen. So I think the Clefable matches are better because if Dougie traps me, because I am so defensive, I can take those hits easily and then just fire off a Moonblast to basically automatically put the Dugtrio into Sucker Punch range for my Nidoqueen, which I will explain in a sec. But basically, the job of Clefable with the Rocky Helmet too, I should explain. Obviously, lefties would be really nice against the Charizard, but I decided to go Rocky Helmet because Zard's best attack against me is obviously the Flare Blitz. You could run Iron Tail, but Flare Blitz just makes a lot more sense. And I guess I just felt that I wanted to get the maximum recoil off of Charizard because if Skarmory gets up rocks later in the game, then it's really going to limit what Charizard can do and can potentially put it into range of Sucker Punch from Nidoqueen plus Extreme Speed from Zygarde. So those were the main reasons why I got that Clef set. I don't really want to switch this thing too much on Donphan. That's why I have Tangrowth, because I don't really want this Rocky Helmet getting knocked off because late game could be really, really handy. Also, if for some reason Dugtrio goes for a physical hit move, it will break the potential Sash. That's, I guess, nice. Anyway, moving on, we got ourselves our Nidoqueen here. Running a physical offensive one because I think it'll catch him off guard. His best Nidoqueen switch in on his team is either a specially defensive Donphan or Gudra. So I feel like AV Gudra probably is his play. I can capitalize on AV Gudra with this set. I have enough HP investment that I can actually live a Jolly Life Orb Earthquake from Dougie. It's really nice. And obviously then any of my attacking moves plus Sucker Punch kills Dugtrio, because Dugtrio's defenses are brittle. Which is why I was talking about like trying to break the sash with Clef or getting the rocks up, because then, you know, it means I don't have to rely on Sucker Punch as much. But Sucker Punch is really nice in this matchup. Obviously being able to get rid of some of those things late game is really nice. Also, like I said, if Zard is very low on health, could potentially be in range of dying to it, so that's really, really good for me. Now the coverage, pretty standard. Poison Jab is there for Superior plus Azumarill. Ice Punch is there for Donphan, Dougie, Goodra, Aerodactyl, all that jazz. And Earthquake is really just there for things like the Jolteon and the Lucario. Jolteon, this is the main check to it, obviously, because of Assault Vest. Not really much that Jolteon can do against me, barring an HP Ice, so that thing is one of his leading kill getters. I know he's probably going to bring it because he adores that thing so much, so definitely want to be able to shut that thing down. But it's basically just a utility Assault Vest Nidoqueen. Don't, like I said, I don't really need the Assault Vest on Tangrowth, so I was like, this is definitely something that I want the Assault Vest on. To be able to take the hits. I was contemplating Toxic Spikes, but I decided against it in the end. It wasn't a good idea, I felt, in the end. Plus, this also checks a nasty plot Lucario, and I have good checks, obviously, for physically offensive Lucario, so this gives me really nice overall coverage. Now, when it came to the Crest set, so initially, instead of Crest, I had an Absol, which was Baton Pass, Will-O-Wisp, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. Reason for that set was the fact that, like, Thunderbolt plus Ice Beam just ripped through Johan's team. Willow just shut down most of the switch-ins that he had on his team to my Mega Absol and made my life like a lot easier. You know, Baton Pass is really nice utility. The reason I decided to not bring Mega Absol though was because I looked at my team and realized Goodra was a big problem. I didn't really want Nidoqueen taking all that damage between Goodra and Jolteon. Skarmory couldn't really take, you know, certain combinations of moves. Clef wasn't really a counter, neither was Tangrowth, so I decided to bring in Crest, as it's also going to be basically my main check to Lucario. I'm not really overly worried about Lucario. Like I said, I have switched into the Nasty Plot set and the SD set, but just in case it's like a life or really annoying set, I wanted to bring in Crest to be able to deal with it too. So the Crest set is actually though a bit more of an aggressive one. It's aggressive card line, I like to call it. I didn't really want to run this too defensively because I didn't feel like Crest needed the defense. It has a lot of bulk, so we can still take the hits fine, like a modest Draco from Goodra, if it's not choice specs. He's only doing like 42% max, so I'm swallowing that. I can then get up a free Carmine, Moonlight up if I want to. Since Johan has no Dark type on his team, this is also pretty free. Not a lot of things switch in on this thing either. Combination of Psy Shock and Ice Beam basically covers his entire team, which is phenomenal. So this is definitely going to be the role of this thing is to be either a mid to late game cleaner. It also does switch in, like I said, on the Goodra and the Lucario, but its main job is really going to be just pivoting around his team and then just late game coming in, potentially cleaning up like he did against Misty and CJ. So that could be the potential job here of Crest. And finally, making his debut this week, we have Randy Orton, the Zygarde. So the first thing I thought of when it came to building for Johan this week was I needed Zygarde on my team. Once Zygarde gets up a DD, I pretty much win. All I got to really do is like chip that Donphan, which is why I've got the Lure kind of Nidoqueen, I suppose, who's especially defensive. I can chip it, but the thing is, if Donphan is a Zygarde check, he's probably going to be bringing a physically defensive Donphan, which makes a lot of sense, because I also have Darmanitan on my team. So all I really got to do is weaken that a bit. You might be thinking, Verd, why is there a Yachi Berry on your Zygarde? The main reason why I have a Yachi Berry on Zygarde is because it basically guarantees me to be able to get it for Dragon Dance without any worries. Like, there are 4 or 5 things on Johan's team that I feel safe setting up a Dragon Dance on with the Archieberry, and without it, there's maybe like 2. So it just ensures that I can get the safe Dragon Dance up against him and then go from there. Late game is when this guy's coming in. Also, I can put myself in a position where I don't even need to Dragon Dance. That would also be ideal. I actually have speed investment to the point where at +1 I outspeed everything on his team that isn't scarfed. So that's the basic idea, is get up 1 Dragon Dance, and with the Yachi Berry I can take an HP Ice from Jolteon, I can take Ice Shard from Donphan, you know, all that good stuff. I can take an Ice Punch from Lucario, so they were the main reasons why I was doing this. Earthquake, Extreme Speed, and Outrage is basically the best coverage I can get. Unfortunately, Zygarde doesn't really get any other decent Dragon moves, so in order for me to spam Outrage against Johan, probably going to have to weaken Lucario a little bit and get rid of Azu, definitely, before I could really go ham with this set. But I really like it. It is by basic win con in the back. Extreme Speed is phenomenal as well for DD, Charizard, Belly Drum, and Zoomeroo, all that jazz. Like, even if they set up and become big threats, like potentially if Azu is able to flinch my Clef after the Belly Drum though, and the residual damage, it could potentially be put into Adamant E-Speed range, and that's something I really hope it is. But yeah, Zygarde is definitely the big win con in the back, and it has a lot of HP investment, so I can take hits from a lot of his threats. One of the big things I wouldn't mind setting up on potentially is, like, you know, Dugtrio if I had to sack something, like if I sacked off Nidoqueen to allow Zygarde. It's like I could kill Dougie with a Sucker Punch from Nido, but I may choose in that situation to sack off Nidoqueen to allow Zygarde to get up the DD. That's another possibility that I have to look into. So there are a lot of scenarios when it comes to this Zygarde, and quite honestly, I think, you know, this is the best one. I feel like my washing machine is really loud right now, but don't know if you can tell, you're just picking up my microphone, but whatever. That's basically the team, guys. Like, I feel pretty good about this team. After what happened last week, I was a little bit rattled. I'm not a huge fan of these 252 sets, but the thing is, sometimes they work, and like, a lot of them are mixed up, but like the ones that are important though are the Zygarde and Nidoqueen, because they have certain purposes. The 44, if people are wondering, the 44 speed on Nidoqueen is so I can outspeed modest 8 speed invested Goodra. If Johan decides to not invest speed in Goodra, I will capitalize that Sheer Force, Ice Punch, and heavily damage that thing to the point where it's not going to be a worry to my team anymore, which means Crest can be used a lot more freely. But I really like this team. I think it's got a solid chance against him. Like I said, Clef is definitely going to be the lead if I see Zard. If I don't see him bring Charizard, I'm going to be pretty stoked, because that does open up Clefable to be used a bit more sparingly. The major thing I don't want to see though is X-Cloud. If I don't see X-Cloud, I'm going to feel really good about my matchup, because that thing can effectively rip apart my team. Don't want to have to deal with that today. But yeah, like I said, main goals is either setting up and winning with Crest or Zygarde, potentially Clef, and just punching holes in his team with Nidoqueen and Tangrowth, and I guess even, you know, I really need the rocks up with Scum too. Rocks are very, very important. A really cool thing about my team too is, like, it's not really that weak to Dougie. Like, maybe Nidoqueen, but like I said, if rocks are up or I'm at a decent amount of HP, Dougie's not really stopping me at all. So that's really, really nice. Take advantage of that. Like I said, he doesn't have a lot of switches to Nidoqueen, and whatever his specially defensive switches out of Nidoqueen, they're going to get punished with my physical set, so that's nice. I like that a lot. But yeah, like I've been saying this whole time, Zygarde is the win con. If I can get it in, get up a DD, I'm pretty much guaranteed to win from there. So that's the game plan. If rocks are up and I can get up a DD, should be able to clean him up. Part of me is thinking, like, oh, I really want to set up and get the kills with Crest, because Crest is my best chance of winning the MVP race. But if you guys know me as a battler, you know that I couldn't care less about MVP races. For me, it's all about the team effort. Like, last season when I made the semifinals of the PMC, had the second best record of anybody, I didn't have a Pokemon in, like, the top 10 for the MVP race. I think my best Pokemon at the end of the season had 8 kills, and Crest has 7. No, Nidoqueen has 7, I think Crest has 6 as it stands right now. So, like, I'm probably going to beat last season's overall kills record, I don't know. But the thing for me is, it's not about getting the most kills with a Pokemon. It's about getting the wins. Like, if I only win 1 or 2-0 and, you know, the kills are spread over each Pokemon, that just shows me it was a good team effort. Like, I get that people want to try and get specific kills to Pokemon's, that's great if you do, but For me, it's about team effort, and I think this team will be able to do well. I'm really hoping that this Clef set works out. League Clef should be really solid against him. It has a good matchup against almost anything he leads with. The things that I'm really worried about, the three things, guys, that I am extremely worried about are Bandit Azumarill is terrifying. Just pointing that out. DD is terrifying. Obviously, X-Blade is terrifying. SD Lucario is a little bit scary. Tangrowth can take a hit at EQ, so that's something that potentially could put him into E-speed range, but I really need to play carefully around that, because obviously I'm assuming like SD with Close Combat, Iron Tail, and Crunch, as you can see against my current team, is a little bit scary. But I do have the investment on Nido Queen to the point where I could potentially take one as well, so there's definitely a lot of factors. I think it's going to be a phenomenal battle. At the end of the day, I'm just looking to have a fun battle against Johan. He is a good friend, and I'm just keen to see, you know, how this team can do, because I think I've got a really solid team for this matchup, but we're going to have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you feel I could have brought anything better, anything different, you know, something that matched up a bit better in this little matchup here. But I feel like the team's good enough. But that's going to do it for me, because I really need to go have a nap and take some more medicine, so that when we actually do battle, I can be at my best and you can hear me in all my great, glorious quality. But this is TheVerd, and I'm out this bitch. Peace.